Hello and welcome to episode 46 of Marbella with him and her. Here's
PJ Lopez and she is...
Hannah Murray.
Well, another week.
We started the week, last week on the podcast, we were bigging ourselves up how well we're doing with not drinking much and exercising. It was all going really well. But just to kind of reassure you that we're human and nowhere near perfect, on Monday, we were planning to go to the gym. We talked about it on the podcast last week. Tomorrow, we're going to go to the gym. And I was dressed for the gym at work. We're all ready to go. So I was just going to pick PJ up and off we were going to go to the gym. And about an hour before I finished work, it was quite a dull day, wasn't it, Monday?
It was raining.
It was raining. It was a bit dark. And interestingly, it was Blue Monday, which is marketed as the most depressing day of the year.
So we bought into it, didn't we?
We bought into it, yeah. And just before I finished work, I thought, I really don't fancy the gym. You know what I fancy? A glass of red wine.
So
getting into bed. And I was so nervous. I didn't know whether PJ was going to have had the same thoughts himself.
So when Hannah picked me up, I was very much against it. I wanted to go to the gym she talked me into going.
You lie! It was amazing. You were so on the same page as me. I was concerned you might go, no, we said we'd go to the gym, and make me feel really bad. And you got in the car and I said, I have something to say, but I'm really not sure how you're going to take it. You might love the idea and already thought about it yourself, or you might be really disappointed in me. And you looked at me and you said, wine instead of gym. And I was like, yeah.
That's because I know you so well.
But you were happy about it too. You'd thought about it.
Yeah, well, when it's cold, and I was feeling cold because it was, as I said, it had been raining, it was dull, it was Blue Monday, and I was cold. It doesn't really inspire you to go to the gym. I know that's probably when you should do it, but I thought, nah.
Yeah, it was nice. We only had a glass and a half or something. It wasn't like we had
Woke
loads
up with a
to drink.
hungover, though, didn't we?
A hungover.
A hungover, yeah.
Woke up with a hungover.
Yeah, hanging.
It affects us these days, isn't it? It's really quite depressing.
Yes.
Monday night is also quiz night for us. I mean, most nights of the week turn into a bit of a quiz night for us, but Monday night we enjoy watching Only Connect and University Challenge.
Well, you say enjoy. I mean, most of the time we're watching Only Connect, swearing at the TV, saying, how on earth does that connect to that?
It's very difficult. I mean, they're getting towards the finals, so it just gets harder and harder, and we just go, what? But it's still good fun if you can work out any of it. And University Challenge, we always keep a score and we get over 10. It's amazing. But I think we were around the 5 mark this week each. I mean,
Yeah. It's interesting. We normally sort of shout out random numbers. So when they're doing a calculation one, we shout out 2 or 1 or something.
And sometimes it's right.
It is. And then when it comes to the music round, we're very disappointed when they say classical.
Yeah, sometimes it's popular music, which we're excited about because it gives us half a chance. But when it's classical...
Again, we just shout out random composers.
Tchaikovsky,
And
Rachmaninoff.
that got me a point this week, Tchaikovsky. Yeah.
It did. Sometimes we're right, which is very exciting. Makes us feel very
Same with the artist, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same with the artists, exactly. We know a bit, but...
We know enough to shout out random names
We do.
and hope that it's right. We haven't got a clue that it's right, but we hope it's right.
And if there's any piano, Chopin is our kind of go-to.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes it's right.
So we know stuff, you see.
We do know stuff. I have found a new favourite lunch, which interestingly, I've got a piece to talk about in a bit from the Sir in English, which was my previous favourite lunch. But my favourite lunch at the moment is something that randomly came up on my Facebook, and I love it. I've had it for the last few weeks. It's very simple. It's cucumber chopped up, avocado chopped up, white onion, which I chop up really, really small, so it's not too strong flavour onion, fresh coriander, which I love, and cottage cheese. And then you just put some salt, some pepper. I put a tiny bit of olive oil, but you don't really need to. And squeeze lemon on it. And it's so delicious.
Cottage cheese is very much a women's thing. Not very many men eat cottage cheese.
That's really funny.
All women I have known eat cottage cheese.
But not the men.
Not the men. It's very much a woman's food.
That's really
I don't know
funny.
why, but it is.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I remember my mum eating cottage cheese and avocado and me not liking either and thinking, I wonder when I'm an adult whether I'll start liking avocado
And when will that
cottage
be?
cheese. Well, I do, so I must be an adult
You
now.
must have grown up at
How
last.
exciting. We were excited earlier this week. I had a friend and ex-colleague, Ian Rutter, on the radio with me because he was promoting and talking about the fact that he and his partner Andrew were going to be on television with Amanda Holden and Alan Carr in a new series of Amanda and Alan's Spanish Job. There's been 2 series of Amanda and Alan's Italian Job. So they go to Spain in this series for the first time, and they go to a little place, a beautiful little village called Moclin, which is in Granada province, and this is where Ian and Andrew live. And they were instrumental in making it happen, not only that they chose the village of Moclin, because there were a few other villages in the running, but also the property that they bought, the production team. And Amanda and Alan are basically doing the whole thing up. It's a massive property. It's going to be a huge project for them. And episode 1 was on this week. And Ian and Andrew were in it. It was great, wasn't it? Really exciting.
It's always good to see your friends on TV.
Yeah, really cool.
We've seen Alan Carr, haven't we, in Gibraltar?
Yeah, we did. He's so funny. I love him. I think he's brilliant.
Chatty Man, wasn't it? The Chatty
Yeah.
Man Tour or something, was it called? I can't remember if it was that.
I don't know, actually, maybe, because that was the main name of his show.
Yeah.
His TV show.
Yeah.
And they've got a great relationship, Amanda and Alan. They're obviously really good friends and really make each other laugh. And Ian mentioned that when I interviewed him. He said you can tell they're really great friends and really enjoy each other's company. So that's nice, because some of these things can seem so staged, but they're both really natural, Ian said.
Yeah, it came across really well. And it was quite good fun to watch. So we might even watch another one.
Oh, definitely we will. Our little Poppy, our cat who has adopted us, is becoming more and more settled in her home and getting more and more affectionate with us. She's loving the winter and being curled up on our bed for a majority of the time. She blends in with our bedding, which is quite nice.
Quite good disguise.
And she's so cute with her. She's more affectionate with you, I have to say. She comes up to you close to your body and nestles in and
Yeah, well, I think it's just, as usual, I see more of her. So it's probably why. And this is completely not anything to do with cats, but it's just reminded me of a video I have to show you. It came up on my news feed and I could not stop laughing. It's called Goats That Faint. And I didn't know this, but goats, when they get scared, faint.
No.
Oh my God, when I show you this, you are just going to die.
Is it better than the Taylor Swift goat video?
It's equal too, in a different way. It's just that like people run up to a goat and scream it, and it just goes and kills it. Like it looks like it's dead, but it's not. It's fainted. No. And there was one clip where there was like loads of goats and some loud bang, and they all fainted, so they all just toppled over.
Talking of videos, you've had I think last week you talked about your most viral video, and this week you've had even more so, but it wasn't something that you created.
No, I saw it on social media. It was just a very, very clever bit of marketing by IKEA, and it was just a bar of chocolate, and on the bar of chocolate it said flat pack Easter egg, and I thought that was genius. So I posted it up on TikTok. It's now had over 62,000 views, over 500 likes, tons of comments, tons of shares, tons of favourites.
Wow.
So yeah, it's gone a bit mad.
I have had 2 quizzes this week. Never mind quiz night on the telly on Monday. I've hosted my weekly quiz at Hogan's on the Thursday night, which was always great fun. And I'm doing a monthly quiz back at Urban Chai on a Saturday, the last Saturday of the month. We didn't do one in December because it was a crazy month. We did one in November and one in January, one coming up next month. And it coincided with Burns night, so it was a good excuse for me to get my tartan trousers out.
Okai the New.
Exactly. And I had some tartan earrings that I found that were my mum's, and I nearly got rid of them or went to put them up on sale on Vinted, I thought, I'm not going to wear tartan earrings, am I? And then I thought, oh, Burns Night. So I have a pair of yearly Burns Night earrings to go with my yearly tartan Burns Night trousers.
So it was at Urban Chai, which is in the Cortico Blanco side of San Pedro. And it was a sellout, wasn't it? And I think you pretty much sold all you don't sell tickets, but I mean, you've reserved all the tables, I think, for the next one in February.
Yeah,
everybody was on board straight away again.
Because there's only room for 8, maybe 9. And if it's 9, it would be one smaller table to fit in there in Urban Chai. And yeah, most of the teams who were there last night said, can you put us down for next month, please? So that's great.
Yeah, it's good. We love a quiz.
We do love a quiz. I went on Friday. I met up with my friend Charlotte. We like to get together once a month if we can. We decided to meet in Marbella Old Town and do a bit of a tapas crawl.
Yes, I dropped you off and wasn't sure what state you'd be when you came home.
I was all right, though, wasn't I?
You were okay.
I was fine.
It was clear you'd had a few glasses of wine.
Oh, yeah, well, I had. We went to a couple of beautiful little places. The Old Town, we don't go there anywhere near enough, do we? Every time we're there, we always say, oh, we must spend more time here.
Yeah, but it's because we like to have a couple of, like you've just done, a couple of glasses of wine, and it's not walkable.
No.
You have to drive or get a taxi. So it ends up being quite an expensive trip out because, it's going to cost at least 10 to 15 euros each way in a taxi. So straight away you've got 30 euros on there before you've even eaten out. So we have so many places local to us that we don't need to.
Yeah, that's basically why. But we went to we went to Barril del Gusto, which I think I've been before with you and Audrey and Mark and Lena that time.
Oh, yes, I remember it.
Yeah, I thought it was an Italian when we were there before, but this wasn't particularly Italian. In fact, it wasn't Italian at all, but it was really nice.
I think there's an Italian right next door to it because I remember they were doing a truffle special on the Italian next door.
I think that truffle place is a different place because I remember that place and that was somewhere different.
Okay. As you can see, we can remember our way around the Old Town very well.
Our way around Marbella Old Town. Then we discovered a place which I was looking out for that Sheila and I had found a few weeks ago when I had to go to the town hall in Marbella, that's down a really small, narrow side street that was really bustling and busy when we saw it a few weeks ago, called Taberna Casacuro Marbella. And it's obviously a chain, I think, because they've got a few different restaurants. We didn't realise that straight away that they own the restaurant next door and the one next door to that. And we ended up kind of going to all three or ordering things from the different menus. The first place we went in, we had some prawns and some jamon, and it was just served on bits of paper. Really authentic, traditional, kind of nice. Although Charlotte was saying, don't we get plates? So then we went to La Tienda Casacuro, I think, which was just 2 doors along, and it was all connected to the same kitchen, had the same branding, but had beautiful plates. When you get all the plates are slightly different, they've been handmade and all the colours are different. Really nice. And we had a cheese board. We weren't planning to eat more, but it was just so lovely. So we're definitely going to go there again.
Sounds like you had a nice time.
Yeah, we really did.
There's an update on the chicken place, which is called
Mr. Chicken
Mr.
Restaurant.
Chicken. It now says restaurant. So that's an exciting addition to the sign. I'm still very intrigued to know what it is.
I know. So will we sit down and they'll say, what would you like? Chicken, please.
Have you got any steak? It's like, no, we're Mr. Chicken.
No, just chicken. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to be. Our decluttering journey continues. Ingrid from the Declutter Hub would be very proud of me and you and my family. Everyone's at it.
Yeah, we're all having a good clear out.
You did the shed this weekend, which is a great job. It looks amazing now.
No, I was dreading it because there was just stuff thrown in everywhere. So I took everything out pretty much and swept the floors and got rid of stuff and repacked stuff. And it's now, there's space in there now. There's actual space to move.
You can walk in and kind of peruse.
Yes, I've actually got shelf space. So we need to find something to put in the shed now.
It looks really good. Well done. I did some more decluttering of books and clothes and things. I've been selling things on Vinted and I have sold some things this weekend, so it's going really well. And it inspired Sheila and my dad to both do it. They've been going through clothes and shoes and yeah, it's great. And they've both been enjoying it.
Well, it's a good thing to start at the beginning of the year, isn't it? Because it sort of it sets your mind in the right way for the rest of the year.
Definitely. The weather has turned, though, hasn't it? Particularly today. Dark skies. It's a bit chilly.
Yes, it said it's going to drop in temperature quite a lot because we have a storm front. So we just sort of saw the end of the storm that they had in the UK, but we've got our own storm front brewing in the Atlantic.
Do you know what it's called?
Herminia.
Yeah, well done. I wrote it down in case you didn't remember. And it says from Monday, tomorrow, weather warnings across the whole coast from Estepona to Nerja.
Yeah, it's amber warning, so it's not like the alarms that went off before, but it says it's going to be like 2 metre, 3 metre waves and up to 50, 60 kilometre wind, so it's not going to be very nice.
No, so we won't go for a swim in the sea.
Possibly not, we won't be seen again.
We wanted to kind of clarify and clear up. There's been quite a few sensationalist headlines in the UK and on GB News.
In particular.
Yeah, basically trying to put Brits off from going to Spain, which is very nice.
No, and there are things going on over here, but it's not aimed at Brits. So the headline was actually British tourists banned from Spain. And it's like, what? So I thought I'd better read this because I didn't know this. And there's nothing to do with any British tourists being banned from Spain. It's not anything to do with British, to be honest. It's about the fact that when you have a property that you want to buy and then rent out on holiday lets, you have to get a special touristic license, which basically means that the property conforms to a certain standard and you have the right license to be able to do it.
Which makes sense, really.
Well, it protects the people that are renting. The problem is lots of people have been buying properties just to do this, which means that they're taking properties away from people that live here to be able to buy, to live in. And also, it's massively pushing up long-term rental fees. So what some regions are doing are actually stopping giving out new licenses to new people to be able to do it. The people that still have them will keep them. They're not taking them away, but they're not giving out any new ones. And that's also just in the centre of Malaga. So it's not even like the big resorts, Torremolinos, Fuengirola, Marbella. They're not doing it. It's actually in the centre of Malaga. And even if they did do it in those areas, it won't mean that you've got less places to stay. It just means that there won't be any new places to stay.
Yeah. So it's actually a good thing, but it's obviously with the British press and headlines made out to be a horrendous thing.
Aimed at the Brits, and it's not at all.
No. There was a couple of articles in the Sur in English that I wanted to mention. A nice piece about Eva Longoria, our friend Eva, who stars in a new Marbella tourism promotional campaign. There was the International Tourism Fair in Madrid this week called Fitur. And Eva had recorded a video.
Eva or Ava?
Oh, interesting point.
Mm-hmm.
Eva Longoria. See, I would say Ava Gardner, which was A-V-A.
But I think she was German,
Longoria.
wasn't she?
German? No, she's Mexican.
No, Ava Gardner.
Oh.
I know Eva Longoria is Mexican, for goodness sake.
Eva Longoria isn't German.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I like the Marbella.
I guess. It's very good. Yeah?
Ava Gardner, I guess.
I mean, it's a different spelling altogether.
German roots.
Yes. It's what you have sometimes. It's where you go to the hairdressers, isn't it?
Anyway, what's the point of the Ava Gardner?
Because we were talking about how to say Eva or Ava, and you said it was spelt the same way as Ava.
No, it's not spelt the same way. Ava Gardner is A-V-A.
Okay, so it's different.
That's why I would say Eva.
I wouldn't. I'd say Ava.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll ask her. There's a video with Eva chatting to her best friend Maria Bravo, who I've interviewed many, many times. She's the president of the Global Gift Foundation, and together they do wonderful, wonderful charity work.
She's actually from Malaga. I think maybe even from San Pedro.
Marbella. She's definitely from Marbella.
Yeah.
There's lots of points with Eva in the video basically singing the praises of Marbella. She says
So she could sing?
She says it's something special and she loves it here, and because she's moved here permanently now. Is she permanently, or she just got a home here?
No, she has a home here. I think she still has a LA place, doesn't she?
Goes between the two.
Yes.
But anyway, that's good. We need publicity for Marbella because of all these other news stories, so it's come at the right time.
Isn't she married to somebody's brother, and I just had it on the tip of my tongue then.
Somebody's brother. Well, that narrows it down. Quite possibly, yeah.
Penelope Cruz's brother, possibly?
I've never seen that. I feel like we'd know that if that was the case.
Gonna look that up for next time.
Yeah. And there was a piece, so this is my previous favourite lunch that I went through a massive phase on. There was an article that's saying Mercadona's potato omelette has been recommended by a popular nutritionist in Spain. He said it's very healthy. He claimed that their tortilla, with or without onion, we like the one with onion. Do you remember? But they run out.
Bought one and it tasted like cardboard.
Yeah, we run out of the one with onion, so we bought one without, and we didn't like it.
Very nice. No.
See, it was quite dry. Definitely get the one with onion. But he said it's one of the healthiest and most consumed ready-made meals. His name is Mario Ortiz. So thank you, Mario.
Yeah, I think he died of heart
Oh,
problems.
stop it! Don't say that.
Obesity.
No, Mr. Potato Head. But yeah, I was pleased because it's easy to think that potatoes aren't good for you because they're carbohydrates, but it's just not true. We need potatoes in our lives. We need potatoes in our lives. We need carbohydrates as part of our balanced diet. That's what Scott always said.
I bought a potato for the curry and I forgot to put it in.
Yeah, I noticed that when I opened the fridge earlier. There's a lone potato in the...
I have to think of something inspiring to do with a potato.
Okay.
And we can't let the end of the podcast go without talking about The Traitors. What a climax.
Absolutely.
And the end with The Traitors are quite good as well.
Oh, stop it. Great TV. I mean, just brilliant. We were on the edge of our seats going, no, and making all the right noises.
And is it the first time for a while that a non-traitor has actually walked away with the money?
I mean, this is only the second series, isn't it?
Third.
Of UK?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Harry won last year and he was a traitor.
Well, he stitched up that poor young girl.
Don't. It was horrible. I read, actually, a story the other day to say that Harry is still living at home with his parents and hasn't spent any of the money that he won from the traitors on himself yet.
That's good. Or silly.
Yeah.
Talking of TV, something else I'm very excited about, and we will be reported on each week, because it's another one of our favourite things. The Apprentice starts on the 31st.
Really excited. We love The Apprentice, even if it just to moan about how annoying the contestants are.
And he's a regular visitor to Marbella as well, isn't he, Alan Sugar?
Used to own the Byblos Hotel, wasn't it?
Yes, he's sort of part invested in that, I think.
Okay, well, that is it from us. I hope you have a good week. Thank you for listening. Please follow us on Instagram. I'm at Radio Hannah.
And I'm at PJ Lopez 1 Marbella.
And please, if you don't already, follow the podcast so to make sure it goes out to as many people as possible. Give it 5 stars, give it a little review, and tell all your friends and family.
And just very quickly, we also now have a new Facebook page just for the podcast.
Yeah, it's called Marbella Podcast.
Yes, so have a look up.
And you can like us and follow us on there. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.